Ancient secrets, forbidden magic, and a dangerous choice. Will Rowan control the shadows, or will they consume him and his kingdom? Don't miss out on the best. Subscribe now to my YouTube channel and join this amazing community. Every week, new adventures, tips, and much more await you. Hit the subscribe button and activate the bell to stay always up to date. In a kingdom where dark magic has been forbidden for centuries, a young noble named Rowan discovers a disturbing secret about his lineage. While browsing old documents in his family's library, he finds a manuscript revealing that his ancestors practiced dark magic and were part of a secret order. Although he was raised to fear and reject this magic, he feels a strange connection to his ancestors. The power and mystery of forbidden magic awaken a deep curiosity within him. Rowan tries to ignore what he has discovered, but soon strange events begin to surround him. Mirrors reflect shadows where they shouldn't, and hooded figures appear in his dreams, calling to him. His daily life starts to feel incomplete, and deep within, he knows his lineage is more than just a legacy. With fear and curiosity, Rowan decides to investigate further, unaware that his decision will change the course of his destiny, and that of the kingdom. Rowan seeks out Elara, an old family friend and a powerful sorceress, for advice on dark magic. Elara receives him with a mix of surprise and concern, warning him that the dark arts are dangerous and can corrupt even the noblest of hearts. She tells him about his grandfather, who was consumed by the power he tried to control, and begs him to abandon his search before it's too late. However, her words fail to dissuade Rowan. As he listens, Rowan feels a blend of fear and fascination, but his curiosity about his ancestors' power is even stronger. Despite Elara's warnings, he decides to continue his investigation alone. Each revelation pulls him further into the shadows, and soon he discovers that his lineage didn't just practice dark magic. They possessed an ancient art capable of manipulating shadows themselves. Rowan realizes his fate may be tied to this forbidden power, fueling his desire even more. While studying an ancient family grimoire, Rowan tries a simple ritual to summon and manipulate shadows. At first, nothing happens, but then he feels a cold presence around him, and the shadow at his feet seems to come to life. The shadowy figure moves at his will, following each of his thoughts. Both thrilled and frightened, Rowan realizes he has awakened a hidden power within his blood. As he practices, he becomes more skilled at controlling the shadows, although he experiences moments of exhaustion and confusion. The darkness seems to speak to him, whispering secrets in ancient languages he can barely understand. Rowan realizes he is crossing a dangerous line, but his ambition drives him forward. He knows he could be the first in his lineage to fully master shadow magic, and the idea of absolute power seduces him more and more. One night, while practicing in secret, Rowan has a terrifying vision. He sees his kingdom shrouded in shadows, destroyed and desolate. In the vision, he sees himself on the throne, surrounded by darkness, with his people living in fear. He wakes up startled, with a strong feeling that the prophecy could come true if he continues down the path of dark magic. The vision haunts him, yet the temptation to explore his powers remains strong. Rowan decides to seek answers about the vision and visits Theron, an elderly prophet living in exile. Theron explains that dark magic always demands a price, and that his fate could be to become a source of destruction. However, he also tells him of a legend about a sorcerer who mastered the shadows without being consumed. With this information, Rowan feels a spark of hope. If he finds balance, he may be able to wield his power without succumbing to corruption. In his research, Rowan learns of an ancient order of warriors known as the Guardians of Light, sworn to protect the kingdom from dark magic. To test his control over the shadows, he decides to secretly confront one of them. On a moonless night, Rowan challenges Celine, one of the Order's most skilled warriors. They duel in a forest clearing, where the deep darkness seems to give Rowan the advantage. During the fight, Rowan demonstrates impressive skill, but Celine is also fierce and determined. She senses the darkness within him and, at the end of the duel, warns him that his power will bring ruin to the kingdom if he doesn't renounce it. Though he manages to partially overcome her, Celine's words linger in his mind. Fear and doubt grow in his heart, and for the first time, Rowan wonders if he is walking toward his own destruction. Rowan, sinking deeper into darkness, accepts that his fate is bound to shadow magic and decides to perfect his abilities. He spends entire days in his study, summoning and manipulating shadows until he feels he fully controls them. However, the more powerful he becomes, the more he notices his mental and physical health deteriorating. His skin pales, and his eyes reflect a darkness that seems to have taken residence within his soul. Isolated from the world and consumed by his power, Rowan realizes that dark magic is changing him in ways he can't reverse. Even Elara refuses to help him, fearing that the power of shadows has corrupted his essence. Aware that he can no longer escape his fate, Rowan prepares to use his abilities for the kingdom's benefit, believing he can still achieve something good, though he fears what he may become. Rowan hears rumors of an impending threat at the kingdom's borders, an invading force led by a dark king who also practices forbidden magic. Convinced his powers can protect his homeland, Rowan offers his services to the royal council as the only one capable of facing the enemy. Despite the council's reluctance, they accept his help due to lack of alternatives. Rowan feels he will finally prove the value of his power. On the battlefield, Rowan summons shadows to create a barrier that halts the enemy's advance and unleashes waves of darkness to confuse and terrify his opponents. However, the more he uses his power, the more he feels something dark consuming his soul. Still, his determination drives him to fight with greater ferocity, each victory filling him with grim satisfaction. But he soon realizes the cost of using his abilities is becoming too high. After the war, Rowan returns as a hero, but his appearance and behavior are unsettling. People whisper about his change, about how darkness seems to surround him even in broad daylight. Although the kingdom is safe, some begin to fear him more than they respect him. The shadows haunt him, and his power has become uncontrollable. Each night, echoes of his actions in the war torment him, and his connection with darkness becomes an unbearable burden. Elara confronts him one last time, begging him to abandon his power before it's too late. She reveals that the only way to free himself from dark magic is to renounce it completely and entrust his lineage to the Guardians of Light. Rowan, however, refuses, believing that shadow power is part of him. His pride and ambition blind him, and he rejects the chance for redemption, convinced he can maintain control. With each passing day, darkness consumes more of Rowan, making him increasingly distant and erratic. His behavior becomes unpredictable, and his allies begin to doubt his leadership. Finally, in a desperate act, he attempts one last spell to purge the darkness from his body, but the power turns against him, unleashing a cataclysm that endangers the entire kingdom. His arrogance has placed everyone in peril, and his last hope for redemption vanishes. Celine, the warrior he once fought, returns and leads the Guardians of Light to stop him. Rowan, weakened by his own magic, finds himself trapped between his ambition and the reality of his actions. Facing Celine one last time, he finally realizes that darkness has taken everything from him and that his lineage and legacy are now his own curse. Exhausted and with no strength left, he falls at his enemy's feet, allowing the power that once seduced him to dissipate into the wind. With Rowan's fall, the kingdom bears the scars of his ambition. The Guardians of Light restore balance, sealing away the knowledge of dark magic to prevent others from following the same path. Elara, saddened by the loss of her old friend, preserves his story as a warning to future generations, hoping his sacrifice serves as a lesson. Rowan's name becomes legend, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition. Years later, whispers still circulate about the heir of shadows and the power he once tried to master. Although his lineage has ended, his story lives on, inspiring both fear and fascination. Rowan's shadow becomes a myth, and his life, a warning to those who seek power without understanding its cost. The kingdom moves forward, strengthened by hard-earned wisdom and protected by those who will never forget the noble who chose the wrong fate. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment.